Hey everyone, and welcome to our live broadcast. It is Thursday evening, so we are closing out our live broadcast week tonight, and we have a great topic tonight. It is one that I am really excited about, and I have been studying for several weeks now, and will be studying all through 2018, and that is our brain. And specifically tonight, we are going to talk about intermittent fasting and the keto-like lifestyle and your brain on keto. So if you are new, welcome. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women find fitness plans and nutritional programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And in this environment here, we are doing that primarily through intermittent fasting and developing a keto-like lifestyle. When you jump on, if you wouldn't mind taking a second to just say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from. If you have been one of our course members, I always love to hear about what month you attended one of our courses, and if you're planning on jumping into our January 2018 course, definitely let me know that as well, and I will welcome everybody and answer questions and comments at the end of our discussion this evening. So, your brain on keto. My personal goal for 2018 is to do everything I can to heal my brain. 2017, I concentrated on really healing my body. I just got all my blood work back. I am a totally healthy 51-and-a-half-year-old body. Blood work is all back to normal. No more diabetic states, no more insulin resistance, nothing going on with me physically. I'm totally healthy. But I am sort of feeling some of those effects of memory loss and a little bit of cognitive damage, I'm sure. And I'm doing everything I can to prolong or offset any signs of brain dysfunction or deterioration as I can, with Alzheimer's and dementia running rapidly in my family, especially on the female side of my family. I am really concerned about what could possibly happen for me in the future. And so I'm doing everything I can now to make sure that I prevent that from happening. And I want to share everything that I'm doing with you guys. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about your brain on keto. So your brain really does run optimally and thrive in a ketogenic type of state. So when your body is fat and keto adaptive, your brain is happy. And I know a lot of women who've gone through our course and are in this environment here with us, who have been implementing intermittent fasting in a keto-like lifestyle. That's probably one of the first things that we notice is how clear our brain feels, and how much easier it is for us to just mentally get through our day and concentrate. And we're noticing that we're getting our memory back. And I know that was one of the first things that I noticed as well. And one of the things that really scared me when I got into this journey was that those months where I couldn't remember my own kids' names when they were standing right in front of me. And that really did raised some red flags for me and really did scare me enough to start doing some research. So we know that our brain thrives in a keto like environment for our body. And the reason for that is what the main fuel source for our brain is glucose. And oftentimes it's considered like a dirty fuel source. So I'm going to use the analogy of your car. If you were to put cheap, dirty gas in your car, imagine how your car engine would operate. Probably not too well, and probably not for very long. Where ketones, which is the fuel source that we want our brain to operate from, or we want ketones to be readily brain, is what we would consider the cleaner fuel. So it would be like the premium gasoline or the more expensive gasoline that you would put in your car with hopes that your car engine would run smoother, better, longer, faster. And so how do we manipulate what the fuel source is for our brain if glucose is kind of the primary source of fuel that our brain uses? Well, the reason that glucose is the primary source of fuel that our brain uses, it's because it's the most readily available, and for most of us, it's the most abundant. And if you're not following an intermittent fasting and keto-like lifestyle, or your body is not fat and keto adaptive, then there's plenty of glucose readily available for your brain to use, and so it's going to tap into what's readily available. When we get our body into a fat and keto adaptive type of environment, and glucose and insulin are not readily available, then your brain has no other option but to use readily available ketones to tap into as its energy source. So readily available doesn't necessarily mean it's the best source of fuel or energy. It just is the easiest. So we want to make sure we put our body and brain in an environment where that glucose is not readily available. We are going to make sure that we have as minimal as possible, and we are going to make sure that the ketones that we have in our body are abundant, and we're fat and keto adaptive, so our brain has the best fuel to operate off of. So, what are some of the side effects of having a brain that's running off of glucose? We've all experienced it. I talk about it a lot here. Foggy brain, loss of memory, lack of ability to concentrate, inability to finish small tasks, inability to remember your kids' names, not remembering where your keys are, not remembering where you park your car when you go shopping. We often kind of laugh those things off as part of the aging process, or just a normal part of what happens to us as we age. But the reality is that's far from normal. We're not supposed to have our brain function that way just because we are getting older. And we really want to make sure that we're taking the right precautions and doing the right things to prevent those things from happening. And if they are happening to you, definitely don't laugh them off. I would take them very seriously and do what you need to do to make sure that you can reverse those things before the damage gets so deep that you don't have the opportunity to reverse them. So living this intermittent fasting and keto-like lifestyle is really the first step in defense of your brain and what you can do to protect your brain so we don't go so far down that we can't do anything to preserve it. So ketones, where are they coming from? If our brain needs ketones to run most efficiently, how do we make that happen? Well, ketones are produced from liver fatty acids when glucose and insulin levels are low. So your body actually will produce ketones when you're in that keto and fat adaptive like state. So we want to make sure that we understand what those feelings are. Like, what does that feel like when we're keto and fat adaptive, so that we know that we're providing the right environment for our body and our brain to operate from. And the best way that we describe that here is really that fat adaptive state, or when we're experiencing that energized sense of calm. So our body is tapping into its fat sources and using those fat sources as a way to just fuel our body. Then the liver does its job in producing those fatty acids, which then is going to fuel your brain through ketones. So it's a pretty interesting system that we have, and it's amazing that our body knows how to do this on its own. And if we just know the steps to take to make that happen, and we kind of move out of the way, our body has the ability to really make sure that our brain is doing what it needs to do. So we discussed yesterday the effects of ketones and as they act as an anti-inflammatory agent. Well, the great news is ketones also work that way for your brain. So if you are one of those people who has chronic headaches, or maybe you suffer from migraines frequently, ketones readily available in your body can also be used as a source of alleviating migraines and headache. So if you're that kind of person that's suffering from headaches and migraines, look into what it is you're doing, see if you're really living that keto-like lifestyle, and if you're not, that might be a nice alternative to some of the prescription medications that are being used today for migraine headaches, and a lot of the over-the-counter stuff that we use when we have headaches as well. We talked a little bit about like Motrin and Advil and those kind of things, and we know from the warning signs that are right on the bottle, conveniently placed for us to read, that, you know, being a chronic Motrin or Advil user can also lead to things down the road that can cause severe damage to our body, our organs, and some of our systems. So if we have an alternative to having to use over-the-counter or prescription medication, that is always the best way to go. And it appears that ketones in your body can be that thing that can help alleviate headaches and chronic migraines. Let's see what else we have here that I can share with you guys. So Here's some interesting stuff and how they're coming about this information in the scientific world. So they're finding that ketones cross the blood brain barrier and become a highly efficient energy source for your brain. So they're passing through your brain naturally when they're readily available. So that's where we see those benefits. When the ketones are crossing through that blood brain barrier, we're feeling those benefits of clear mind, inflammation is going away, increased oxygen delivery to your brain. We talked about that with athletic performance and having that mind to muscle connection. And if you're a performance athlete or someone who's really trying to get to that next level athletically, that having your brain operating on ketones will really allow you that opportunity to finish strong and be able to have some increased output levels as far as what your athletic capacity can be. So concentrating on our brain and improving our brain can also lead into those secondary areas of our life where we can also improve our athletic or fitness performance as well. We talked about that central governor's theory. This is how all of that comes about and ties in together. So our brains, when we have that oxygen delivery to our brain also has the ability to fire off brain neurons in a higher capacity. So just having your brain have the opportunity with extra oxygen available to it with the proper fuel source that it's burning off allows your brain neurons to just fire away. And that is really where we're seeing a lot of improvement in just concentration levels, a lot of high level business executives. I just watched a YouTube video the other day about a gentleman who works at a company who develops what are they called? Michael, help me remember what they're called. The cameras that fly in the air. What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. See why I need to have ketones in my brain. But anyways, he works for a company that develops, aircraft that like movie theaters, movie production companies are using to do aerial filming and footage. And so he needs to be on top of his game. So he's using things like a ketogenic diet and I think someone just told me what it is. Drones. Yes, drones. Thank you, Kara. So he develops drones. And so he has to be on top of his game. And so he has been living an intermittent fasting and keto lifestyle. So he makes sure his brain function is spot on. Like he has no time to have a bad brain day. And we're going to see a lot more of this. People who are high performing brain people in high level positions are going to start adapting this type of lifestyle because they need their brains to be firing. They need to have that intense ability for their brains to be on top of their game all the time. So that's the part about this that I absolutely love, is that it's not such a fat loss thing, or it's not just a in the gym physique toning type of thing. That ketones are really proving to be that thing that can change the way your brain operates. And if you haven't been so great to your brain up until this point, there's some hope that you can actually reverse some that has been done and really get that brain clarity back, which is what I'm clearly looking for in 2018, is to get that memory recall back and to really feel like my brain is on top of its game. And I think that the state that I was in these last couple of years with the insulin resistance and the inability for my body to handle the levels of glycogen that was in it, it really did do some damage to my brain. And I'm really excited about the opportunity that I have this next year to really practice living in a ketogenic state as often as I can, and we'll be using some supplementation and following what I teach in my course with the intermittent fasting and keto-like lifestyle to just take everything to that next level. So who doesn't want more brain neurons firing in their head? I know I definitely do. So in summary, long-term nutritional ketosis improves mental clarity and less brain fatigue. So your brain is just not going to be as tired. And that is something that I know that we can all benefit from. So what are ketones? Well, ketones are basically beta hydroxybutyrate. That's what a ketone is broken down to be. And beta hydroxybutyrate delivers neuroprotective benefits, preserving brain homeostasis and preventing cell death known as apoptosis. So we talk a lot about autophagy here, and how autophagy is what we're striving for. We want our body to have the ability to find those dead and damaged cells, chew away at the damage, and then repair the cells and then recirculate them into our body. Now, that's great when it comes to, disease and cancer and those kind of things. But apoptosis for your brain is something that we really don't want to happen. We don't want cells to fall away, and we don't want cells to die. We want cells to be rejuvenated and amped up, and we want those neurons to be firing away. So this is where ketones or beta hydroxybutyrate really is advantageous for our brain, and we want to have those ketones present for our brain to utilize as its primary fuel source. So this is all great news for us, especially us aging women, because I know one of those things that we really do kind of just discount as part of aging, and the where's my keys and where did I leave my purse, and you have your readers on top of your head but you can't remember where they are. Those are those things that we just laugh off as, I know in my world it's like a blonde moment or whatever, but as that thing where well, that's how it's supposed to be, we're getting older. But science is proving to us that that does not have to be the case, that there are some very specific things that we can be doing to preserve our brain health. And I always say that, it's great if we have a slim body with hardly any body fat on it, which being in ketosis will do for us. And it's great if we can preserve some lean muscle mass. That's what ketosis does for us. I mean, it's great if we can, prevent cancer from developing in our body, or use ketosis as a way to reduce cancer if we have it, or help offset some of the damage of some of the treatments for cancer. Like, all that stuff is great, but it's really not going to mean anything if we have a mushy brain. And that is that thing that for me is really, really important. When everything is said and done, I want to have my brain functioning. And I want to remember my kids' names. And I want to be able to find my parking spot when I go to the store. And I want to be able to be an active participant in the lives of my grandchildren who aren't even here yet. And so I really am taking this seriously this year, and we'll be doing tons of research, and I will be the human guinea pig for you guys if you need a guinea pig, and we'll be experimenting with some things and really giving some stuff. So a really solid trial run, and we'll keep reporting back to you guys, and hopefully you guys will just notice that I won't be forgetting things like drones when I'm talking to you guys, and all those little things that I just can't recall from my brain. And it's been very frustrating for me the past couple of years. It has improved definitely from what I've been doing with my intermittent fasting and my keto-like lifestyle, but it's not as good as I want it to be, and it's not as good as I need it to be, and so I'm going to keep working at it, and I'll be sharing that stuff with you guys here. And like I said, Michael and I have already started doing some things mentally. We've been doing it for about 2 weeks now, and I will be continuing to do it through 2018, just to use as a tool to, like I said, enhance what I'm doing with my intermittent fasting and my keto-like lifestyle, and making really good, solid nutritional choices so that I can stay in nutritional ketosis and then enhance it with some extra supplementation. So the research is there. It's worth looking into. Michael and I are pretty serious about it, and we'll keep you posted. And as always, if you need any information from me, I am always willing to get you guys information. All you have to do is email me, and I'll get you some stuff. So it looks like my Facebook video is really fuzzy, so I apologize to you guys for that. It's been fuzzy all day. I think it's probably an internet thing, so hopefully the sound is clear, and I'm sorry that it's fuzzy for you guys. Okay, let me see who's here on Facebook, and then I will go on over and welcome everybody from YouTube. And thanks for joining me this week. I know it's super busy for everyone with Hanukkah this week, and we have finals in our house this week, and it's the week before Christmas, and I'm sure you have last minute shopping to do and gifts to wrap. So I'm super appreciative of you guys jumping on with me live here today. Janet, good to see you this evening. My husband is in the house. So if you guys have any questions for a man who's fasting in a keto-like lifestyle, you can go ahead and pop them in there. He will answer them for you. Sue from Australia, girlfriend, it is so nice to see you. Yvonne, woohoo, good evening, everyone. June alumni and January 2018 student. Janet, July 2017. Okay, you guys, my diehards, Janet and Yvonne, you're gonna have so many titles you have to type into your greeting to me. I love it. You should also put Yvonne and Janet, June alumni. Let's see, Janet, you're a July alumni, alumni grad, January 2018. Success story, participant, like you guys have lots of titles you can put on there. Leslie, alumni from September, going to do the 2018 alumni class starting 1/16. Awesome. So you mean, Leslie, you're going to do the January 2018 class. The alumni class is different. You should just jump into the January course for sure. Liz from Long Beach, good to have you here, girlfriend. Linda from Colorado. Mary Lou from September. And the 2018 course and passion planner group. Awesome. Yvonne, my body feels great, but I could use more brain power. Yeah, I hear you, girlfriend. You should send me an email and I'll let you know what Michael and I are doing. It's pretty cool stuff. Linda, I have noticed a huge improvement in the reduction of migraine headaches, which I have suffered from most of my adult life. IF has definitely helped and rarely get migraines now. That's awesome. And it's probably just the reduction of sugar that you're taking in and the reduction of calories and being in that fat adaptive state. So Linda, congratulations and thanks for sharing that. I always like when your guys' testimonials of what's happening for you backs up what we're talking about. So thanks for always being so generous with sharing your stories. I totally appreciate it. Tony, so do you drink Shakeology? Does that still allow ketosis? Okay, so I have been drinking Shakeology every day for the past 7 years of my life. I call Shakeology, I refer to it as my best food friend when food was really not working for me. The last couple of years when everything was sort of making me sick and causing triggers and all that kind of stuff. I'm drinking it intermittently now because I really want to see what I can do if I can take my carbs down to that next level. So it is still I do still consider it probably one of the most nutrient dense shakes on the market. And I trust the ingredients that are in it. But right now, for these next few weeks, I'm experimenting without it and seeing what the full effects of what I'm doing with other supplementation can do. And I'm just going to kind of write it out for the next couple of weeks. And I'm really only eating one meal a day while I'm going through this. And one meal a day doesn't really allow for Shakeology every day because I'd rather eat whole food. So there's that too. I really am trying to get down to just one meal a day unless I'm just really feeling like I need to have two or a source of some extra fat. But I'm watching my carbs. So, and I thank you guys for all popping in the word drone for me. I totally appreciate it. Yvonne, I'd love to hear more about the tools. Okay, yeah, so send me an email, girlfriend. Maggie, picture fuzzy, but sound is clear. Okay, yeah, sorry about the fuzzy picture. I would think we have really funky weather here right now, and the weather really does affect our internet connection, so that's probably what it is. So we're just super grateful that we have an internet connection. I'm super grateful for that. And Gail from Western Australia, girlfriend, good to have you on with us tonight. And what Michael and I are doing with our supplementation is also available in Australia. So if you guys want any information, we can send you guys that too. Okay, let's see what we've got over here on YouTube. Jerry, good to have you here. Renee from Minnesota, nice to have you. Happy to be Taylor. What a great name. Hello from Georgia. Can you talk about what supplements you take that encourage ketosis? Happy to be Taylor. Why don't you send me an email? And my lovely Kara just gave you my email address. That's the best way to go. Lori, happy Thursday. Catching you live while traveling in the car. Love technology. Speaking of traveling, IF is the best while vacationing. So grateful. What'd you say? so grateful for all I've learned, and I continue to learn from you. Oh, Lori, I love having you here. Thank you so much for your always so positive, and I totally appreciate that. Thank you. Gwen from New York. I'm in terrible pain from my workout yesterday. Not sure why my body is reacting this way. Trying to avoid Motrin, but can't even do stairs. Oh my gosh, girlfriend. Have you been inconsistently working out? That might be the problem. And take a Epsom salt bath, or if you have any of Mr. Teal's like creams or lotions or anything like that, just rub them all over your legs. When I am sore from a workout, I use the Mr. Teal's foot cream, and I just rub it all over my sore muscles, and it helps a lot. And then Epsom salt bath too. Laura Mack from the UK. It's 3 a.m., but I'm glad I've caught you live. Thank you for sharing this epic information. It's amazing how our bodies can regenerate itself. You're so true on that, Laura Mack. And Laura Mack, why are you awake at 3 a.m.? Are you up for work or something? Margaret, good morning from the UK, another UK. I've noticed that I'm able to stay alert all day and night since IF. My brain functioning is so much stronger now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Margaret, you are so welcome. And I got Claire from the UK. So 3 ladies right in a row on YouTube commenting from the UK. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Nellie from El Paso. Ida from November alumni, and now the 2018 class, cleaning out my pantry. That's always nice. And Arlene, can't wait to join your January course. Arlene, I can't wait for you to join it either. And so here we go I'll give you guys some information about the 2018 course. If you are on our email list, you will get an email tomorrow with a personal invitation from me and Kara to join us for our January 2018 course. And we are super, super excited to be able to finally get our email list invited to the course. So stay tuned. It will come tomorrow. Make sure you get signed up quickly so that you can get connected with all the next what to do steps and get set up in our Facebook group and all that too. Nellie, June alumni, and I too am following your 24. One meal only. I thought I could not make it on one meal, but thanks for the support. You make it so much easier. Yeah, and here's the thing about one meal a day. One meal a day can be intermittent and flexible as well. So there are days where I can just survive on one meal a day and it's fine. And then there's other days where, and you guys have experienced this too, where you open up your eating window and you're like ravenously eating for 4 hours. So if you can go on one meal a day, I say go on one meal a day and don't worry about it. Your body will balance things out as needed. And then when you need to have 2 meals a day, and when I need to have 2 meals a day, I break my fast with my break fast shake, and I don't ever question it or worry about it. It's just a day I need more. And remember, your body's constantly repairing, your body's constantly fixing, your body's constantly in adjustment mode. So never question when you need to have more calorie intake in your feasting window. Just make sure that you're feasting on nutrient-dense food. So if your body is sending you the signals that it's requiring more, you're putting the right things in it. And anytime we use any kind of supplementation, we want to make sure that we're using it as a tool and not a crutch. And we're going to talk about this in our intermittent fasting course in January, about when it's appropriate to start using supplementation and when you should really just rely on fasting and feasting to identify where your body needs some adjusting and some healing and some help. And when you get to the healed state in your physical body and you're healed emotionally about your relationship with food, and you can handle experimenting with some things, then that's the time when adding in some supplementation like break fast shakes and other things can really help you enhance your experience and take your healing to the next level and expedite some things. So I'm really, really particular about when it is you start introducing supplementation, because I don't want to provide an environment of women who are doing things out of desperation. And we talk about desperation supplementation in the course as well, and why it is we have cabinets full of things that we've purchased off the internet and we don't even know why we have them. And I never want you to be in that position with me. I want you to be responsible about what it is you're putting in your body and why it is you're doing something and making a decision to do something, and if it's appropriate for you or not. And not everything is appropriate for everyone. And so we'll discuss that in our course as well. But for my graduates and my alumni, if you want some more information, definitely email me, because I know what level you guys are at, and I would love to share what we're doing with you. Gail from Perth, Australia, girlfriend. Let's see. Janet, info on Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's is that thing that, again, just happens as our brain is tired, and we start to get that memory loss. And they're using the ketogenic type of lifestyle and intermittent fasting, and there's some supplementation you can get to help your brain health that will help offset Alzheimer's disease. So there's not really a cure for it yet. So the best thing that we can do is stop it in its tracks and really do what they're researching now. And I'm treating it like this. I'm treating my brain health, what I'm doing nutritionally, what I'm doing with supplementation, the same way I treat things like sunscreen, eating blueberries or whatever it is that we've done in the past to kind of keep our bodies healthy. And if we're cautious about the sun, and now we're showing that we do need some sun exposure. We need to get the vitamin D exposure. So covering up and being slathered down in sunscreen is not always the best thing, but we want to be smart about the sun. And so I'm going to use what science is unveiling today with supplementation and nutritional choices I'm hoping that I'm the person that the science is backing up. So if there's a chance that I can preserve my brain health by practicing intermittent fasting at a ketogenic type of lifestyle and using the proper supplementation to enhance what I'm doing nutritionally, could possibly preserve my brain health and keep me from getting Alzheimer's disease like the other women before me in my family, then I'm going to take that chance that I'm the woman that's going to work for. I don't like to play Russian roulette with those kind of things, especially when there's enough scientific research and documentation to prove that it's working for most people. I want to be the most people. And so I take my chances on those kind of things and err on the side of caution. But I've done my research as well, so I'm backed up by research. Jasna, it's Jazz from Australia. Would love to find out if your break, fast, shake, and other supplements are available here. Australia. Some supplements are, so reach out to me via email and I'll let you know what I can get you information on. For sure. Okay, anybody else? I've read Alzheimer's, maybe another type of diabetes. They call Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes specifically, Janet. So you're right on track with that. And so if we have already shown the signs of pre-diabetic states or diabetic states or having problems with like insulin resistance type of issues, then that's the precursor for us. Another reason why we should be taking our chances with what they're unveiling with scientific research. And if we can add in some enhancing things to really take what we're doing nutritionally to the next level, I call that my insurance plan, and I'm going to take a chance with the insurance plan. And there's lots of things that are being done too with like turmeric and turmeric. And I was reading another kind of spice today too that's used to kind of help with brain health. But I know turmeric is another one of those things that can really help with brain health and offsetting signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. So, but yes, Alzheimer's is considered type 3 diabetes, which is scary because I'm already pre-diabetic and I know I have sugar issues. So I have to be super, super careful about making sure that I do keep my body in the fat and keto type of state, because that's going to be the next thing for me. Here's the other cool thing, and for you women who are here who've had pregnancies before, ketones pass through the placenta to the developing brain in the little baby that we're growing in our body, which I thought was fascinating. And then I started thinking about some of the things that we go through when we're pregnant. And that metallic type of taste that we have in our mouth when we're in our first trimester of pregnancy, when brain development is rapidly happening in our little fetus, could be a sign of our body being in ketosis, right? I mean, it is the same sort of sensation we have in our mouth and our breath. Had when we were pregnant, we have the same sort of thing when we're in ketosis. It's called keto breath. And so when I've read this research about ketones being used for brain development in pregnancy, and how women who are pregnant should actually be taking ketone supplementation, I was like, that's mind-blowing. That's crazy that you could give that gift to your developing baby of having ketones working to help their brain develop in the correct way. So the research is absolutely fascinating. Forever Piano, there are BHB products on the market. Do you know if adding ketones this way has been beneficial? Email me and I'll give you some information on that. Margaret, I've noticed that I'm eating far too much in my feasting window, so I'm looking forward to the January course. Okay, Margaret, and we'll determine what far too much is. Maybe it's just enough. You don't know yet. Nellie, pre-diabetic Alzheimer's, very scary. Both my grandmothers and mother had it. Had Alzheimer's or diabetes? Probably Alzheimer's. Yeah, it's scary. So if we can cut the sugars now, let's pray that we can offset some of those things that could be creeping up on us, just because it's kind of already what we're for. Yeah. So see, they go together, diabetes and Alzheimer's. So it is scary. So we have research available. We have tools available to us. Let us, this amazing community of women, be the guinea pigs. Let's see if we follow this lifestyle. If, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years from now, Yvonne and Janet will have our girls trip, and we'll be sharp as tacks as far as our brain function, and we'll have a good old time laughing about how, we were doing intermittent fasting and practicing ketosis, back in the early 2000s or whatever, and we'll have a good laugh at it 20 years from now. Okay, I am going to jump off for tonight. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you'll be celebrating over the course of this holiday season. I won't be on Monday night because it is Christmas, so I will be with my family. I'm not sure about Tuesday yet, so I will definitely, if we're going to be live, we'll have a post up about going live for sure. And then the 27th, we have our Passion Planner meetup. Our Facebook group is already up, so we will definitely connect on, I think it's Wednesday, right? The 27th for that. And then our course starts on the 6th. So I'm super excited about getting that up and running as well. So if you haven't set your goals for 2018 and started putting them in place yet, you guys got to get to that so you can have an amazing 2018, or like we're calling it here, your best year yet. We're going to practice doing a lot of nothing and embracing everything in 2018, and I'm so excited for 2018 to roll over so we can all get started and start really taking advantage of everything that we have worked so hard for this past year together. And I'm super excited that I'm taking a lot of really healthy girlfriends with me into 2018, and we're going to help so many other women jump on board with us and cure themselves and get healthy too. So thank you so much for everyone who's been with us this year. You've touched my heart in so many ways. I'm so appreciative of you, and I can't wait to carry this relationship on with you in 2018. So thank you so much. I will see you guys sometime next week. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll see you before New Year, so I won't say that yet. And if you need anything, definitely feel free to email me, tag me in Facebook posts. I will be around so I can answer any questions and help you guys any way I can. And then look for your email if you're waiting to get an invite. And email me if you want some information about what my husband and I are doing with our kids. Okay? Brian, I'm only gonna last 25 years. Brian, hush. Brian is a friend of mine from high school. He pops into our lives every now and then. So he's one of the good guys hanging out here. We like when he's here. Okay, so I started intermittent fasting for about 8 months, and I've noticed that I'm always very cold. Yeah, that's pretty typical. Okay, guys, I'll see you later. Make sure you keep your comments coming, and I'll check them later tomorrow. Have a good night.